That ROG Z1 Extreme is faster than ROG Z1, but that may not always matter. Hello fellow gamers. The Asus ROG Ally is a handheld gaming PC that competes with the popular Steam Deck handheld by Valve. If you have used the Steam Deck, then you probably know that Steam Deck various versions only vary in storage and a choice between an LCD and OLED screen. In contrast, the ROG Ally comes in two variations with different CPU and GPU performance. The $600 ROG Ally Z1 and the $700 ROG Ally Z1 Extreme. These handhelds are alike in every other aspect, including their design, display, storage, and RAM. So, is the additional performance of the Ally Z1 Extreme worth your extra $100? To answer this, we have compared the two in four categories. Number 1. Price. The Asus ROG Ally Z1 and Z1 Extreme have a small price difference, but there's a good reason for it. The Ally Z1 Extreme costs a bit more because it has a more powerful Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor inside. It's up to 50% faster in games, which can make a noticeable difference, especially if you're aiming for a smoother experience in the mid-40 frames per second bracket instead of struggling to hit even 30 FPS. But don't disregard the Ally Z1. It may not be as fast, but not everyone buying a handheld PC plans to play demanding games. Some prefer older titles like Skyrim or Terraria, while others might be interested in emulating classic game consoles. So in terms of price, the standard Ally Z1 offers a budget-friendly option for gamers who won't push the hardware limits. However, Best Buy has discounted the Z1 Extreme model even down to $600 during the sale, and the standard Z1 to only $400. So, the choice between the Z1 and Z1 Extreme boils down to your need. Number 2. Performance. Both models of the ROG Ally get their names from the AMD Ryzen APU inside. The Ally Z1 is equipped with the Ryzen Z1, featuring 6 cores, 12 threads, and a Radeon integrated GPU with 4 compute units. On the other hand, the Ally Z1 Extreme is powered by the Ryzen Z1 Extreme, boasting 8 cores, 16 threads, and 12 GPU compute units. This gives the Ally Z1 Extreme an extra 2 CPU cores and 8 GPU compute units. The additional GPU power is particularly noteworthy, marking a threefold improvement over the Ally Z1. While the advantage in games and benchmarks for the Ally Z1 Extreme isn't as extreme as the specs suggest, it's still significant. In 3D Mark Spire Strike, the Ally Z1 scored 1,478, while the Ally Z1 Extreme reached 2,245, an advantage of roughly 50%. In Cyberpunk 2077, the Ally Z1 averaged 29 FPS at 720 pixel resolution with low-end Steam Deck graphics settings. The Ally Z1 Extreme, in contrast, achieved an average of 43 FPS. Gameplay on the Ally Z1 Extreme was smooth in most scenarios, whereas the Ally Z1 struggled in hectic combat and crowded NPC situations. The trend continues in Starfield. The Ally Z1 averaged 25 FPS at 1080 pixel resolution. On the other hand, the Ally Z1 Extreme achieved a much better 35 FPS. This difference translates to a game that's barely playable versus an enjoyable experience. So in the performance category, undoubtedly, the Ally Z1 Extreme emerges as the winner. While the Ally Z1 is capable of handling older and less demanding titles. Number 3. Design and features. The Asus ROG Ally Z1 and ROG Ally Z1 Extreme share an identical appearance, feel, and build quality. They both feature a 7-inch, 1080-pixel, 120Hz variable refresh rate touchscreen, dual joysticks, Hall effect triggers, Wi-Fi 6E, and surprisingly impressive speakers. Opting for the more budget-friendly Ally Z1 doesn't mean sacrificing any features. There's no compelling reason to choose one over the other based on design or physical attributes. Even the more affordable Z1 model includes a 120Hz display and ROG XG mobile GPU support. Both models also come with a 1-month trial of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So in this category, we will give a draw to Z1 and Z1 Extreme. Number 4. Battery life. Both ROG Ally models are equipped with a 40-watt-hour battery by Asus. While this is a respectable size for a handheld gaming PC, the battery life is relatively short. In most situations, we observed a battery life of 2 to 3 hours, and 2 hours or less during demanding 3D games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Starfield. This remained consistent for both models, which might appear unexpected. Alternatively, it may not be surprising given that our testing concentrated on the performance power mode. This mode delivers a maximum of 15 watts of power to both the CPU and GPU on both systems, which is also the maximum power draw of the Steam Deck. Switching to the silent profile can enhance battery life on both models by capping power use to just 10 watts. However, this comes at the expense of reduced game performance, making it a sensible choice only for games where performance isn't a primary concern. So in this category too, we will consider a draw between Z1 and Z1 Extreme. Final verdict. So in our opinion, the clear victor in this competition is the Asus ROG Ally Z1 Extreme. Investing an additional $100 to $200 brings a performance boost of up to 50% in demanding current generation games. The practical impact is arguably even more significant than this figure suggests, as a 20% improvement can mean the difference between a frustrating, stutter-filled experience and generally smooth gameplay. However, this doesn't render the Ally Z1 obsolete. It presents the same design and features as the Ally Z1 Extreme at a more budget-friendly price. It's a solid choice if you don't intend to engage in demanding gaming on your handheld PC. Both machines perform well for streaming games from the cloud or your desktop, playing older PC games, and running emulators. Nonetheless, the clear preference is still the ROG Ally Z1 Extreme. Do not forget to like the video and subscribe for more.